Who do I have to fuck to get one of those?
Mitchell, we need your special talents over here. Make yourself useful, get a man a coffee. Black, 2 sugars.
A large one, darling. I really need to get one of those.
Thought you already had one.
Oh, you're joking. The coffee tastes like shit.
Constable? No coffee, thanks. We've got work to do. Who called it in?
Security guard. Found the body doing his rounds.
He looks pretty shaken up.
Not surprising. You wait till you see it. Where's that bloody generator? Sorry, we're still getting set up here. We've got no power.
Where's the body?
Cellar. Down the steps, follow your nose. You're gonna need these.
You're in for a treat.
Bloody.
Like a menstruating virgin at a gangbang. I'm not sure if it's the worst I ever saw, but it's a contender.
Maybe you should sit this one out. I'll fill you in later.
I'm fine.
The man has a point, you know. Even my stomach turned over when I first saw it. You sure you're up for this?
I said I'm fine.
Whew. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, it's like a taco shop in there.
What do you mean?
It's like maggots everywhere. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, take a look. God, the Met should let me freelance some of these to the National. I don't want to tarry any lord. You sure you want to go in there, detective?
So immature. I'm absolutely fine.
I mean, we wouldn't know what happened last time, right?
I had stomach flu last time, okay? You all know that.
Have you got stomach flu today?
Oh, let's just do our job.
At least you didn't contaminate the crime scene this time.
So, we've got a serial killer.
You think so? Genius.
Well, it's clearly the same MO as the last one.
I didn't realise you were Amish.
Amish.
Well, don't you own a TV?
What are you talking about?
Because even if you never had to learn police work like the rest of us plebs, anybody with a TV knows it takes 3 bodies to make a serial killer.
You know what I'm saying? You're just being pedantic.
Pedantic. And here's me thinking that pedanticness is the most important attribute of being a competent detective.
Just tell me what we have.
At a guess, I'd say he's been here 5 or 6 weeks. I wouldn't touch that.
Forensics.
Leptospirosis. Rat piss. This place is infested.
Right, so, he was killed, what, a month before the other one?
No shit, Sherlock.
This work is much cruder than the first one. The other one was more controlled, neater. Looked almost surgical to me.
Practice makes perfect.
Have you noticed the most obvious difference here? Come on, detective, you can do it.
The numbers.
What?
The numbers on the wall.
What are you talking about?
The dates on the wall. They're different from the other scene.
No, the body.
Has he removed the heart from this one as well?
Hard to tell before the autopsy. He's too far gone.
There's blood around the head of this one.
It's not inconsistent with having your guts ripped out. We're gonna be here all night, put her out of her misery.
Unlike the previous victim, this one hasn't been restrained.
Drugged.
I hope so.
We'll run the usual pathology tests, but given the state of the body, we We might never find out for certain.
So do you think he was alive when he was cut open?
It's possible.
Ready for your close-up?
It's a coincidence. My wife's cooking ribs tonight.
Give it a rest, Perkins. So, similarities. Both male, both IC1, both late 20s, same height, both athletic, both locations had the same satanic markings.
Satanic. Like the Pope flexing his pecs to me.
You're telling me that doesn't look like a cock?
You must have one weird-looking cock.
Don't act like you don't know what his cock looks like.
Guys, focus. Jesus. This means we're most likely dealing with the same perpetrator. Victim 1, the heart was removed.
From the victim or the murder scene?
Both, actually. The assumption is it's the same with victim 2, but we're still awaiting the autopsy for confirmation.
And where was the first victim found?
At home, in the basement.
Nice surprise for his poor old cleaning lady when she went in and found the body.
Any murder weapon?
It looks like the killer used surgical tools. Bone saw, scalpel.
So maybe he was a doctor.
Jack the Ripper was a doctor.
Jack the Ripper was a lord, aristocracy.
Jack the Ripper was a barber.
A barber. Oh, that was Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd? Not a complete retard. Aaron Kosminski, Polish barber. DNA evidence proves he was Jack the Ripper.
Enough! If anybody mentions Jack the Ripper again, especially outside this room, they're suspended. The last thing we need is for the press to blow this out of proportion and get us swamped with mentally ill people making false confessions.
Occupations?
Victim 1 was a doctor. He spent the last 3 years saving the world. Volunteer medic in the back of beyond, Central America. He had only been back in the country a couple of weeks.
Welcome home.
Victim 2 had only been in the country for 2 months, too.
Any sexual assault?
Not from the first victim, but again awaiting autopsy on victim 2.
Maybe the killer's homophobic.
We don't know that the second victim was gay.
Oh, come on. What straight guy ever spent that much time in the gym?
Well, that's one thing you can establish when you interview all known associates.
Are we going to find anything useful in this file, or is it just another bunch of dead leads?
Oh, you've learnt to read?
They're not dead, they are leads that are still being investigated, and we have a new one. There was a date on the floor at the first scene. It was scratched into the concrete. For now, we just assumed it was put there by the builders.
And now?
We found this date on the wall last night. See how similar they are?
Do we know what it means?
No, not yet. We only just made the connection.
Well, yeah, and assuming they are dates. I mean, this is not America, you know. So, the cock pope, have you got any idea what it's actually supposed to be?
Sigil of Beelzebub, voodoo mumbo-jumbo.
And what about the Circle of Salt?
It's a barrier against dark forces. Voodoo mumbo-jumbo.
Psychological profile.
He's a nutter.
There is a full profile report in the file.
Forensics.
File.
Nothing so far. He's either very careful or very lucky.
And what about the second scene?
File.
Nothing as yet, but it was 2 months old. Rats had been at the body, so let's manage our expectations on finding anything useful there.
And we're definitely sure this is the same guy.
For God's sake, look, Inspector, we've got everything covered. Do we really need Laurel and Hardy here getting in the way of the investigation?
If we had everything covered, we wouldn't have another murder victim.
Fuck off.
Oh, the glory I'm getting pissed off that the professionals are muscling in on his first real serial killer.
It's not a serial killer. There are only 2 bodies.
Actually, that's a common misconception propagated by lazy American TV shows. The official definition is 2 or more killings separated by a cooling-off period.
Enough! We're a team, so let's act like one. Look into the numbers scratched on the wall. Find out what he's trying to tell us. Victim 2, all known associates. Find out who had access to the building.
So how long have you worked at the site?
5 months.
What do you do?
I am the security guard.
Yes, but what does that entail exactly?
I sit in a booth from 8 in the evening till 8 in the morning. And once every hour, I walk around with a torch so people see that I am there.
What do you do the rest of the time?
I like to read about astronomy.
So you work nights? Any day shifts?
That is Simon. We play chess, one move a day. We're still on our first game.
Just the two of you?
Yes.
And what about your days off?
I can't afford days off.
Why did it take 5 weeks to find the body?
We don't patrol inside the factory. It is derelict, locked up. You were there.
So why'd you go in last night, then?
I heard a noise.
What kind of noise?
A strange noise. Scraping.
Scraping.
Sometimes you hear noises. Sometimes rats, sometimes foxes. Sometimes your mind playing tricks.
So why did you choose to investigate this particular noise?
It was a loud noise. Like nothing before. Like pipes scraping on the floor. Maybe like someone stealing scrap metal. So I have a look. This is my job.
What did you see?
Sight from hell. Same as you.
Did you touch the body?
Of course I did not touch the body. I got out and called you straight away.
Did you see the markings? The witchcraft? Symbols on the walls?
Where I'm from, even Lusaka, witchcraft is an everyday thing. You see the pastor on Sunday, you see the witch doctor on Wednesday. I've seen witchcraft, good and bad. And I tell you now, sir, that was not witchcraft.
Where can we find your chess opponent?
That is some crazy Satan shit right there.
How do you know the details of the murder scene?
Tony told me. He sent me home from work. The pigs, police, have it all cornered off. You better bloody well pay me for today as well, the tight bastard.
Who's Tony?
I feel really bad about this. Really bad. It's terrible.
Why do you feel terrible?
Because it doesn't look good for a security company if the site that they're guarding becomes the scene of some kind of ritual killing.
I guess it doesn't.
We could lose a lot of business over this. And bad for the victim, of course. I'm so sorry. I haven't offered you any refreshments. Would you care for a cup of tea?
I'm fine, thank you.
Do you have any coffee?
Sorry, I'm gonna have to make it. We're not that type of setup that can afford assistance or coffee machines. How do you take it?
Black, 2 sugars.
So who exactly has access to the site?
Just Femi and Simon.
And you, obviously.
Well, yes, and me.
And what about holiday cover?
But no one's gone on holiday for the past 4 months. It's just Simon and Femi, that's it.
So they've worked 12-hour shifts 7 days a week for the past 4 months, no time off?
0-hour contracts. It's perfectly legal. It's the only thing that's kept us afloat since the economy crashed.
Why no security cameras?
No point. It's a derelict site. Plus, we'd be doing ourselves out of a job.
So what you're saying is we have a murder in a locked-up site that only 3 people have access to?
Well, we 3. And the owners, of course.
I thought you owned it.
You're joking, aren't you? We just do security. If I was some sort of millionaire property baron, do you think I'd be drinking this shit?
So who does own it?
Sanderson Law, please.
Do you have an appointment?
"47 floors. How high is that in meters? Although, to be honest, I prefer the cable to break than get trapped in there and slowly starve to death. Although you buy me a few weeks.
Hello?
Susan from Straub here. Bad news about the sale.
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Tiny little hiccup. Your buyers have pulled out.
But how can they pull out now? We've signed the contract. We complete on Friday.
These things happen all the time. time. They said their loan fell through and...
I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. You told me they were cash buyers.
Oh, there was a chain involved.
Yeah, well, then you misled me.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We care about your
I
experience.
can't talk about this right now.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
So, should I put it back on the market?
Yeah. Well, what choice do I have?
Don't worry, Miss Farway. Everything's going to be fine.
Okay.
Call you later?
Yep.
After work?
Put it back on the market.
We've got it under control. It's a
Thank
hot
you.
market and we'll have that house sold
Yep.
before you even notice.
Bye.
What was that about?
None of your business.
Detectives, Vera Mason, Property Portfolio Manager. How can I be of assistance?
We're here to talk about Kingley Street.
Quite. Let's go somewhere a little more private. Please, take a seat. Could I tempt you with a coffee?
No, thank you.
Our chef roasts the beans himself.
We have a lot of work to do, so we'll just ask you a few questions and then be on our way. So how long have you owned Kingley Street?
We acquired it back on June 16th last year, so nearly 10 months ago.
Why did you purchase it?
Because we invest in property.
How often do you visit the site?
Not often at all.
When did you last visit?
Me, personally? Never. Well, not since we completed the purchase last year. There's no reason for me to go there.
So other than yourself, who else has access to the site?
Well, everybody. The keys aren't locked away.
And I assume you have some sort of system to record who takes them.
Site visit log. Everything's automated, fairly standard.
Well, can we see it?
Sure. I guess so. I'll just have to check that with my...
So, you've finally taken my job.
Still working on that. No, this was an unscheduled visit. All the boardrooms were occupied. This is Mr. Sweet, our partner in charge. These are detectives...
Farway and Smith.
Detectives? Don't worry, I can provide the alibi. She was with me all night.
In your dreams.
We're here to talk about Kingley Street.
Of course you are. I heard about that. Awful.
We were just requesting access to your site visit log.
Access granted. Vera will arrange that right away. Detectives, my office is entirely at your disposal.
How is it my fault? The buyer dropped out.
All the contracts are signed.
That's what I thought too. But you know what? Shit happens. But I'm the one dealing with the estate agent. Hold on. Excuse me, I have a prescription. I said hold on.
Oh, this is expired. Well, it's out of date. You need to go see your doctor and have it renewed.
But it's a repeat prescription.
Yeah, and it's expired. Oh, yeah, can I help?
Look, it's not like you can get high off these things. What's the big deal?
It's called the law.
I am the law.
Well, then why are you trying to get me to commit a crime?
Look, okay, things at my work are really hard. I really need these pills.
Steve?
You're really useless at this sort of stuff. I mean, I don't...
Well, can you come out here, Steve?
If you think you could do a better job, then you call the estate agent yourself. Yeah? Take responsibility for something once in your stupid...
Can't I just have a tea break?
Excuse me. Thanks.
Hello? Look, are you listening?
This is expired.
Oh, Jesus, just give me the pills, will you?
Why didn't you just tell her to go and get it renewed?
I can't deal with this right now. Wanker.
Excuse me?
Sorry, not you. That was my ex.
Don't blame him.
Shit.
This crazy fucker's building some kind of Frankenstein's monster.
While he's making a pie.
Oh, that's an interesting theory. You got an alibi for last night?
I'm not going to lie to you. Was at home all night eating. Oh, your ex-wife. Too soon. Well, it rules out the homophobic theory.
What are you talking about?
That's not one of them ladyboys.
Well, you'd be the expert.
This was done last night.
Yes, the core's still warm. Clear signs of rigour.
So we can rule out the date theory then, too.
Bit late for a last rites. Oh, prepare to be impressed. Shit. There's not enough chapters, damn it. Just wait, let me check the Old Testament.
Cause of death?
She's got no eyes.
Yeah, I can see that. Surely eye removal wouldn't lead to this much bleeding. Eh, Farway?
Epistaxis. The mother of all nosebleeds. Besides that and the eyes, no other signs of physical trauma.
Can you die from a nosebleed?
It's rare, but it happens.
The wrists aren't bad. Do you think you'll have more luck with toxicology this time?
Fresh body. We should know if she was drugged or not.
Yes. Isaiah 28:11. For with stammering lips and another tongue, he will speak to the people. I'm a genius. They're all verses about speaking in tongues.
No shit.
I told you, fuckwits, it wasn't a date. Chapter, verse, book number. Our guy's an evangelical Christian.
Don't look very evangelical to me.
Excellent police work, Detective. You've narrowed our list down to everybody in the country who has access to a Bible, you fucking dickhead. Who called it in? Well, isn't this a coincidence?
Yeah. I'm screwed now, aren't I?
How so?
Well, I was talking with my accountant about selling up and moving to Cyprus. No capital gains tax. Thinking of blowing this shithole and having a happy retirement in the sun.
So what's the problem?
Well, who the hell is going to buy the Ripper's favourite incompetent security firm? I'm ruined. I'm already struggling to keep hold of those contracts ever since that Kingley Street thing was in the papers.
Why did you arrive on site before we did? You found a body, yeah?
Yeah.
So why didn't you call us?
Oh, he's the boss.
You get around, don't you?
We do all the security for Sanderson Lyle sites.
Sanderson Lyle? They get around a bit too.
How long's he been your boss? Have you got access to Kingley Street?
Oh, no. This is my first day. I'm from the temp agency.
That is an eventful first day.
Yeah, and my last.
So you called Mr. Dwyer?
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I didn't think. I rushed straight over here. I called 999 as soon as I saw the body.
Did you touch it?
Of course I didn't.
We'll see.
Mr. Sweet is expecting you.
What a pleasure it is to see you both again. I just wish it was in more salubrious circumstances, please. So who's playing the good cop and who's playing the bad cop?
Just a routine inquiry.
Yes, it seems to be becoming the routine, doesn't it?
2 bodies on 2 of your sites in 2 days.
That is quite a coincidence.
Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous.
What you say?
Albert Einstein? Scientist, crazy hair?
We've looked through your Kingley Street logs. So nobody from this company has visited the site since you bought it. Don't you think that's strange?
What I think is strange is why such a beautiful creature would choose to surround herself with death. Do you know how many derelict sites like Kingley Street I own?
Enlighten us.
Far too many to tell you off the top of my head.
Kingley Street hardly seems like a gold standard investment to me.
No, I'm sure it doesn't. That's why I'm the youngest full equity partner in Sanderson Lyle's long and distinguished history. And you're a policeman.
A rebreather.
You dive.
Nothing like this. I'm assuming this is somewhere deep.
As deep as it gets, the Chavez system, Mexico. You ever swim underground?
No, I'm just a tourist. Shallow reefs, pretty fish, and then back in time for cocktails. Cave diving. Even the idea freaks me out.
You never overcome your fears until you face them.
Carrying a big gun always helps, eh?
What are your logs going to give us regarding the Jefferson site?
Many hours of overtime. It's an active construction site. We'll have numerous employees visiting on a regular basis.
And you?
My numerous employees mean I to visit building sites.
So you personally have never been there?
No, no time. Too many caves to explore.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Yes. I would just like to get this prescription renewed so I can get back to work.
That's not strictly what I'm here for. You'll have to see your own doctor for personal prescriptions.
Of course, if I could get any time off, which isn't really happening right now, is it?
And how is work?
Yeah, fine. Busy, obviously.
Serious crime squad. That's quite a step up. Your father must be very proud.
Sure he is.
Tell me.
Oh, for God's sake. Really? Tell me about your relationship with your father. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should we move on?
Maybe next time. Have you experienced any more extreme reactions at crime scenes?
Oh, my God, I told you. I've been getting over stomach flu, okay? So, I'm absolutely fine.
You seem agitated.
Yeah, I am agitated because I have a job to do. So I just want to get this prescription renewed so I can get back to it.
We both have a job to do, Rebecca. Mine is to make sure you are healthy and happy.
Victim 1 worked in San Juan Batista Tuxtepec.
What are you jabbering about?
That's only 80 miles from Chavez.
Well, like he said, what are you jabbering about?
We can connect him with Sweet. You sure you don't require a lawyer?
I spend my life surrounded by those parasites. This makes a pleasant change.
Do you know this gentleman?
No.
How about her?
No.
Him?
No.
Why don't you take a closer look?
No. I suppose you're going to tell me he works for Sanderson Lyle.
No, he doesn't.
So why would I know him?
Just to clarify, you've never seen this person before.
Not that I recall.
You were visiting in Oaxaca between the 2nd and 28th of July?
It's possible. I was in Mexico around those dates. You'll have to check with my assistant for confirmation.
No need. We have your flight records right here.
My private jet, I say.
I occasionally slum into first class.
This gentleman was also in Oaxaca at the same time.
Good for him. It's a delightful part of the world.
He worked as a doctor at the Tuxtepec General.
A most noble profession.
Did you seek any medical treatment during your visit?
I didn't. I'm a picture of health.
Fortunately, we cannot say the same for our friend here. Or him.
What are these?
What do you mean?
Numbers.
Why don't you tell us?
So is that plunging net line designed to beguile a confession out of me?
We have 3 murders. 2 bodies were discovered on your site. The 3rd victim was in the same remote region as you were, 2 weeks before he came back to London and was killed.
I take it you're suggesting I'm connected in some way.
Are you?
Of course not.
But the coincidences are really mounting up.
And that's all they are.
And you really expect us to believe that?
I don't care what you believe. Your beliefs don't affect reality. And the reality is I have nothing to do with any of this.
There's no way that this is a coincidence.
The man isn't right, Inspector.
I can see him playing dresser with his mother's rotting corpse.
Let's liaise with the local police in Tuxtla, Mexico. See if they can show Sweet's picture around the medical center where the doctor worked. Can anyone speak Spanish?
I can try. Me have no Espanol.
Hey, you're gonna love this.
Can't we fit any more in?
A special branch have kindly agreed to give us some extra manpower. This is Detective Constable
Rice. Aye.
and we are all going to give each other our full cooperation. Detective, this is my team. DC Lawrence and DS Perkins and...
We've met.
Hello, Eli.
I'm Detective Farway.
Farway? As in Commissioner Farway.
How do you think she got the job?
Same way I got him. Police work. Let's do some.
I couldn't agree more. This is our person of interest, but everything's circumstantial so far. Let's turn up the gas. Perkins, get Rice a copy of the case file, then go back to all known associates of the victims and see if you can pin them to Sweet. Anything that might link him to the victim.
Right.
Eli, set up a 24-hour surveillance on Sweet. He doesn't take a piss without you timing it and telling me what colour it was.
I love this job so much. Can you help out with the hardware?
That's what I'm here for.
What about me?
You go home and rest. Well done, Detective. You deserve it.